The Wii U has been available for a bit, and so has this game, but that doesn't mean you've played it yet. This is REVIEWBER. The WarioWare series has been around for just over a decade, and if you've never tried one, it's kind of difficult to explain what they are, as simply saying they're a minigame collection is a huge disservice to the series. It's more accurate to say a WarioWare game is a collection of bursts of absurd microgames that give you 5 seconds or less to figure out what the objective is, how to play, and beat them. And in any case, you'd be hard-pressed to find a minigame collection with this much humor and personality outside of Rhythm Heaven. Over the last few years, the WarioWare titles have also become a bit of a Nintendo tech demo series, giving you a fun way to experience their experimental gameplay mechanics and technologies, such as gyro rotation controls, touchscreens, Wiimotes, and of course, the Wii U in general. So does Game & Wario uphold the proud tradition of frantic insanity while bringing fresh gameplay? Let's delve in. Single player. Now you may initially think, what? A party game with a single player mode? Boo! Which I originally foolishly thought because I had forgotten that the WarioWare roots are in a manic single player experience, though the Game & Wario experience has evolved from this a bit. Gone are the bursts of 10 or so microgames. Instead, upon visiting each character, you're presented with a single game lasting around 5 minutes or so, which also has unlockable levels of challenge after beating. Though if you still want to experience the throwback to classic WarioWare gameplay, this can be found in the Balloon Fighter games. More on that later. The highlight of this game, beyond the humor and charm, is how creative it is with the Wii U interface, as each game uses the gamepad quite differently from the other, making it a great sample platter of what the console is capable of. Be it simple touchscreen style movements to solve fabric puzzles, the initially disorientating third-person and bird's-eye view of you jumping while trying to land on small platforms, or to give you a camera to zoom into the window of your TV and take photos silent scope style. Each game delivers a unique experience, some of which can seriously make great games on their own. Where's my Pokemon Snap 2, guys? Granted, not all the games are completely innovative. Ashley's side-scrolling broom flying game and the skiing game don't push the bar much further than your average motion control iPad game, but I found them entertaining enough. Okay, and an extra special highlight has to go to the 9-volt games, both a throwback to classic WarioWare, mixed with the most intense, terrifying, and funny gameplay mechanic ever. I don't even want to spoil it here, you just have to play it. Another more subtle standout is the bizarre geometry drawing game, asking you to draw lines of specific length, shapes of specific diameter, and angles of very specific angles. I forgot all this in grade school. I do have to point out that the only game I had some technical difficulties with was the final Wario pirate dance-off thing, where the gamepad had to be recalibrated a couple times. That and the game is generally one of the more confusing to learn. Presentation! Presentation is as cute and bizarre as previous games, and as one who has a fondness for the WarioWare employee roster, it's great to rejoin old friends. The overdramatic title cards for each game are a great touch, the use of the Wii U's camera for your profile adds a lot of fun as well, and some cutscenes are told using both screens. I want to see more of this on the Wii U. Heck, even the game's credits are adorable, with staff members represented by their drawings of a nose, and categorized by things like if they like cats. Replayability? Now, as I mentioned, there's not as many games in this as previous WarioWare titles. So what's keeping you coming back? Well, aside from trying to ace each game 100%, each game has multiple levels of increasing difficulty as well, and the scoreboard for each game shows how you stack up against other players on your console. Throughout all the games and overall accomplishments, you earn tokens that can be spent on unlockables from a chicken capsule machine. The unlockables are a bizarre collection of items such as even minier micro games, interactive gadgets and toys, game tips and hints, recipe scrolls for actual food, and little story elements that oddly enough expand the WarioWare world. Multiplayer! Now before I get into the official multiplayer mode, I do want to point out that the single player is designed to keep a group of people entertained, even when what you're doing is primarily on the gamepad. Be it the Olympic-style camera coverage of the skiing, or the overworld map of the taxi game, the backseat gamer in your life has both something to see as well as can be helpful, pointing out where items, destinations, or enemies are on the big screen. Also, there is a 2-player version of that geometric drawing game. Just saying. Okay, multiplayer mode. This is actually the weaker offering of the Game & Wario package. And to be clear, it's not because you can only use one controller, the gamepad. They've utilized it for sharing pretty well. There are 4 games and only 2 of them have much replayable value. The Pictionary style game is basically perfect for the system. And the Launching to Platforms game took me back to the Super Monkey Ball days of Monkey Target, though this one is even more random and unfair. No, not the bird! The Whodunit game is interesting, where the active player has to blend into the crowd and steal items without your friends seeing, and afterwards they all get a chance at a suspect lineup to vote who they think you were. A really interesting game, but after playing the 3 levels, not much to go back to. And the Simon Says Guitar Hero game is online mode. Okay, there really isn't an online mode, but there sort of is, in the form of the Miiverse Sketch, an interactive drawing experience where you take gamer-submitted suggestions from the Miiverse for what to draw, and have 1 minute to do so, afterwards comparing your art with everyone else online. I actually actually caught myself drawing longer into the night than I thought I would. Closing remarks! The WarioWare series has always been to me the manic cartoon sketch comedy of video games, and this game has some solid laugh-out-loud gameplay. The more you play and unlock, the more you realize that Game & Wario is a toy box, full of things that were made just because they were fun ideas. And though I wasn't sold on the Wii U when it was first released, the collection of creative games that you'll go through and the different ways you'll interact with the system showed me that the Wii U is more than capable of delivering a unique gaming experience. If you haven't played it yet, Game & Wario probably isn't going to be the Wii Sports experience of the Wii U, where you bring everyone you know over to play this new groundbreaking technology. But hey, when you're playing a game that involves driving a taxi full of farm animals while shooting down UFOs with a bazooka, you know you have something special. Final REVIEWBER, reasons to buy. If you enjoy short-term innovations, want more funny in your games, want to show off your Wii U to those who've never played, have a collect them all and perfectionist personality. Try! Curious to try something unique but don't think you'd play it more than once or twice? At least give it a try. Can you even rent games anymore? Fly away! If you want a game with a deep plot that will keep you busy for more than 2 hours at a time, not finding it here, sorry. But that's just what I thought. What did you think?